As coaches, one of the most frustrating things we can run into is when we spend a lot of time coming up with a training session and we're so excited to use it, and when we get to the practice field and it just doesn't work out for various reasons. A ton of things can happen, but it just is not working, and it becomes extremely frustrating. It can be defeating because how much time we've put into it, and we were so excited and thought it was going to go so well. As coaches, we almost have to expect this to happen. We should be prepared, we should be planned out, we should know what we want to do, but we have to expect that our plans are going to go off the rails, like with anything. So, with that in mind, for me, one thing I tell coaches all the time, and this is probably one of the best tips I ever got, is make sure with your planning, you have one very specific thing you want to accomplish that day. So sometimes in a training session, we have all these things we want to do, and we're working on an area, but we still haven't kind of pinpointed, if there's only one thing we get done today, this is what I want to accomplish. If we go into a training session with that mindset, we can have our plan and we can start our training session. But if things start going off the rails and not as we had planned, we can still kind of come back to, this is the one thing I need to get done today with the players. This is the one thing I want them to walk away with. If we can have that top of mind, then as things don't go as planned, which they won't, we can pivot and adjust, not to try to just on the fly and not sure what we want to do, but in that in mind. So if I need to change an activity or skip an activity, I can do that as long as at the end of the day I was able to accomplish this one thing. So this is probably one of the most important parts of session planning. It's not just having a good flow and having great activities and fun activities for the kids and things that they're going to learn a lot of, which is all important, but it's also understanding what's the main thing you want to get out of that training session. If nothing else happens that day, everything else goes wrong, what's the one thing that needs to get done before the practice is over? That is something you need to make sure you know before you practice or start any session with your players, because that will help you adjust when things don't go as planned, which they won't.